Okay. We're now streaming live. We're now streaming live. It says, double check. Here we go. Okay. Yes, we're now streaming live. Excellent. Excellent. So, we are live.
We are live. We are alive.
Yeah. Welcome back to yet another episode of Enlighten Up with Div and Deb. And we thought what we would do is just speak to what's alive and current in our experience, what's coming up for us, what we're noticing come up in the coaching space with our clients, those that we serve, and in our own personal experiences. And if there's something in particular that we said we would speak to yesterday, because that feels like a whole 24 hours ago, neither of us can remember what we promised. Comment on it, and we promise we will endeavor to come back to that and to speak to that if it's something that you're wanting, if it is something that there's something in particular you want for us. Both of us are very, very inspired by service, so we want to know what it is you're wanting, and we can speak to that. So what we're speaking to today is something that it's not really being talked about a lot online, and we feel like it's important to talk about. So you want to talk about what that is, Deb?
Yep. It's the strain on our system. Let's call it tension. It is wonderful that we have many mental strategies for us to stay afloat or stay well or be in gratitude, and this is incredibly helpful. And yet there's certain things that experiences for us as humans that still create strain on our system, not just as humans, but all beings. An example, our cat at home, he is unwell, and we took him to the vet, and the vet said, oh, this is caused by stress. What is his stress? And he has a visitor cat in the house that's been there for some time, who does not let him alone. Whenever his back is turned, he'll come and smack him. So he can't just, in a relaxed way, walk around the house. He can't lay and have a sleep without some part of his mind being a bit vigilant that he could be attacked or disturbed, right? And so externally, he's handling it very well. He's just standing his ground and saying, F off with a hiss or smacking back. And, you know, we thought he was coping quite well. But that constant in the back of his mind having to be vigilant or to think about where he is, or is that guy around the next corner, that is a strain to the system. And it's very similar to the situation that we are in. Whether you are still able to go to the office, or whether you are working from home, whether you have children there with you and you're juggling schoolwork with it, or some things seem the same. Nothing in life is the same. You can't go to the supermarket and wander casually like you did in the past. You have to be thinking, where am I putting my hands? How far am I? Is that person going to walk next to me? Is anybody sneezing? And even if we're not thinking it consciously, which we are doing a lot more conscious thinking, there's lots of things running in the background, right? So there's a lot more things running in the background that we're monitoring that we never used to have to monitor. And then there is a lot more things in the front of our mind that we're having to do consciously, because our automated processes, our habits, our rituals are taken away from us. So we're using much more cognitive bandwidth. And even if we are we're choosing to view it in this way and have positive thoughts, it's still a strain on our system. And what that means is that that strain and tension spills over. When it is feeling too much for our system, it spills out. What our state creates our behaviors. And so some people are finding that they're irritated by their children or partners' impatience, or the people at work not performing in the way they are, or they're whinging about this, or their own personal tension is spilling over into less capacity, less graciousness in how to be with others. And everybody else, their system is strained too, and they're kind of spilling over onto us or on others in some way. That is just so. And on top of that, we can judge ourselves or others for doing that. And on top of that, we can feel guilty that we're doing that. And we can feel guilty then that we're judging ourselves or judging others. And you can see that then it can be very unproductive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, this is a real challenge because not only are we're in closer proximity than ever been before. You know, in some cases, it might feel like you're living on top of your loved ones, like there's nowhere to go to get some alone time, quiet space, personal time. You know, maybe
strain on the system.
I spoke to someone today. Yeah, I spoke to someone today who shared with me all of my self-care, the things that I did for self-care, I can't do anymore. I can't go to the gym anymore. I can't get my nails done. I can't get my eyebrows waxed. Like these things, it's feeling, I'm not feeling like myself, she said. And so when our routines are disrupted, and our established habits and practices are like thrown out the window, it is going to require a higher level of cognitive capacity, and because that takes energy. This is the spilling over that happens because the resources are being used in learning how to navigate our new set of circumstances. And so we don't have the same level of patience or graciousness or compassion or understanding, because that cognitive capacity is being used elsewhere. So I invite us to just be gracious with ourselves about that, to understand that's just human. Like that is just the limitation of human cognition. And for us to be okay with that. So if we could remove one layer of the judging ourselves for doing that,
and feeling guilty
would be great. You know, feeling guilty for doing it or judging ourselves for doing it, and just kind of accept, yeah, like we're gonna be experiencing more tension in this season because we're not able to automate the things that we once had automated. We're in, you know, a whole set of circumstances, uncharted territory where there's a lot of new learning going on. And when there's a lot of new learning going on, it's using those resources.
So that's our offering. Need to be short and sharp today because I can feel the queue backing up of things that I need to do and people that I need to speak to. The other thing that I would like to suggest is, no, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody's like, oh, look at you, and everybody else is more important to you than me, and you're not here for me, and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything at all. it is not true necessarily. I'm talking about my own experience, right? It isn't so that all those people that person sees me giving attention to and they're feeling vulnerable and threatened and wanting to need assurance, it doesn't mean anything. They don't really think bad of me. It's just spilling overness. and so I don't let it mean anything about me. And I don't let it mean anything about them. It's just a moment, and we're all doing the best we know how, and this too shall pass, and this is the graciousness. And I kind of have the same state in my mind, or forgiveness that I have when someone is sick, you know, when they're vomiting or they've got the flu. They're grumpy or grumbly or whatever. It doesn't mean anything. You know, what comes out of their mouth at that time is just their system is not coping. So let us just relax. Let that moment pass. Come back to ease, and just let us just acknowledge this is a strain for our system. And we won't be able to do or be the way we want to be when our system is not strained.
Yeah, and what's really important to highlight here, what Deb's speaking to, is behavior is a reflection of our state in the moment. And let us just know that. Like, it's a presupposition that we hold, we offer in YSC, Your Success Code, our year-long flagship brain training program. And it's that awareness that behavior is a reflection of our state in the moment. When we are feeling strained and constrained, then there will be tensions and spillovers, and it doesn't mean anything beyond what's current for us in that moment. Just like if a sick child vomits on you, doesn't really mean they don't like me, any number of things.
Appreciate all the work that I've done for them all these years.
So we'll leave it at that. So thanks so much for tuning in, for joining us. We'll be back around this time tomorrow with another episode, and feel welcome to comment. Let us know what you're wanting us to speak on and how we can serve you best. This is we want to support you during this time. So thanks heaps, and bye for now.
Bye.